we'll see the New York Knicks facing the Indiana Pacers. Kevin Harlan here, joining me, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and the entire 2K Sports crew. And now the New York Knicks starters. Melo and Amari at the forward slots. Jeremy Lin is out there with Landry Fields. And it's Chandler in at the 5, patrolling the paint. And for the Pacers, Paul George and Danny Granger on the perimeter. Roy Hibbert is out there with West. And it's Hill in at the point guard position.
Boy, he did a nice job losing his man on a good pick and then just buried the jumper. That is basketball 101 right there, Kevin.
And what a great season Tyson Chandler had for the Dallas Mavericks last year, guys. He shot a career-high 65% from the floor and really improved his free throw shooting as well, up to 74% from the line.
And it's Anthony with the jam. On offense, here are the Pacers. 4-point game. Now let's find out what head coach Mike Woodson had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, they are well aware of the potent offense they'll be facing off against in this game. He said communication on defense and rotating well are two of the biggest keys to their success. He feels that if they can contest shots, they'll fare better than other teams have against this opponent. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. Well, Clark, that's a potent offense they're up against right now, and they know it.
You know, I wouldn't doubt that we see them make a few adjustments on the move over the course of the game, in the flow, making changes.
Well, they're going to have to make some adjustments as the game goes along. This team is too dynamic offensively to deal with by playing one style. So the schemes, I think, will change according to how the game's going.
I could not agree with you more, Steve, in terms of what Tyson Chandler has brought to the Mavericks with his offense. I mean, we knew about his defense and rebounding. He had well established that as part of his arsenal. But his improvement on offense, that development, has been really kind of frosting on the cake. Boy, I like the rugged work on the inside that led to that very easy putback. That's going after it there, guys.
Tipped. The Knicks off to a quick start here. Anthony, Granger covering. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Very easy call to make. There's no question contact on that shot.
Yeah, you know, you can allow a little contact, but not quite that much.
Well, there are a lot of good closers in the NBA, but for my money, Carmelo Anthony is the best guy in the fourth quarter when you absolutely need a bucket.
Shumpert is checked in for New York. In the pass to Carmelo. And Granger picks him up defensively. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. And Steve just talked about Carmelo Clark as a clutch scorer. Stats back him up. The game on the line. There are few better in the league in doing that.
I would put him right at the very top of the list, too, top 2 or 3, because he can get it over you. He can get it around you. He can do it with his back to the basket. He can do it from the three-point line. And he's a really good free throw shooter. He is really one of the premier scorers in our league, without question.
Both shots good from the stripe.
Well, the Pacers historically have always been tough on their home court. And last season was no different. 24-17 in Indianapolis. One of the reasons the Pacers made the playoffs.
And the Knicks with the ball. 7-point differential. Now, here is George. He's tightly guarded. Indiana off to a slow start. They trail by 7. Well, Clark, you know all about this Indiana team being in their front office. Dead last in attendance last season, averaging just a little over 13,000 fans. But the team gave the diehard fans something to care about with the playoff experience. Yeah,
they certainly did, and hopefully that'll catapult more fans into coming back to Conseco. In 2001, the team averaged almost 18,000 fans. If the team gets back to contention, you know Indiana loves basketball, and those fans will be back.
High post shot. Another miss by Granger.
Certainly not the dream start they were hoping for, going 1 for 4 early.
Goes right up. The shot will not go. Knicks will take it the other way. Now the Knicks with it. They're on a 14-5.
Good. Wow.
Well, they've got the big lead early. We'll see if they can continue this momentum.
Yeah, you know, guys, they've been strong on both ends of the floor so far, and I think they can keep it up. 5 turnovers already. A terrible way to start a game.
Now, they've got to figure out a way to cut down on these mistakes or they're in big trouble.
Timeout called the Pacers.
Well, this is a Knicks team that has been built through free agency and trades. Of course, when you're in New York, you're a very attractive destination for free agents. And that's why they have gone that route rather than through the draft. Beautifully executed play there to get that basket.
Deep 2 from Anthony. They get it back. Shumpert off on the layup.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
Never easy to try. Oh, sledgehammer!
That should be illegal, Kevin.
Well, thanks to some good shooting, they're off to a nice lead here.
Well, they hit the ground running, Steve, from the tip-off, and they've yet to slow down.
Now Granger. After the missed 3 by Carmelo. Lets it go with a 3. A nice shot by George. George has got 5 points so far.
And what I love about Danny Granger is he's really good at both ends of the floor. A versatile defender. He can rebound. And, of course, offensively, he's dynamic.
On the wing, Granger takes a 3. Can't get it to go. Anthony with the defensive effort. Goes up. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. You know, the one thing that's held Danny Granger back early in his career, he's had some injury issues to deal with.
Yeah, he has, but last season I thought he was pretty healthy, and he carried the burden for the Pacers. Oh! How's that for finishing with flavor?
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he was saving that one for a special occasion.
The 3 gets it to go. Granger's got 8.
No reason not to pull up for the 3 right there.
Shumpert, and it's good on the way in.
They've been dominant in the paint. That's how they've built this early lead.
Well, they're piling it on in there. That's where all their points are coming from, in the paint area.
J.R. Smith's checked in for the Knicks. Here's Granger. 8 points for him.
What a great job playing the passing lane.
Shumpert. And the rebound goes to the Pacers.
I'll tell you what, it seems like all it takes is just a little bit of defense for him to be tentative on those layup attempts.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I don't think there's another option.
Jacks up a 3. The second chance effort. The second effort. And he drains it.
That's got to feel good. Ending the quarter on a positive note.
Yeah, you would know that.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second.
Well, fellas, Melo coming over to the Knicks, the big story around the league, really, as the Knicks like to make headlines, and they did with that move. Some, though, can criticize New York for being more concerned with being on the front page than actually winning. I'm not sure I quite agree with that, but certainly some people may have felt that way.
They've got Barbosa, Danny Granger out there with West. Then it's Roy Hibbert, and it's Hill in at the point. So that's the group out there for Indiana. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Guys, Amari Stoudemire, a terrific scoring big man, but his defense had been a question mark. Asked if those questions were fair, Amari said, "It was fair. I was never taught defense. I just never was taught it in high school and also in the NBA." Amari said he took it upon himself to get better defensively in his final year in Phoenix, and that he's carried over that focus to the Knicks. He said, when trying to win ball games, defense is what does it. Getting stops, getting rebounds. It's imperative for me to bring that defensive intensity. Guys?
Well, the Knicks could certainly use it, Doris.
And it's true that Amari has mostly played on offensively oriented teams, but with his size and athleticism, he has the ability to be an impact player defensively.
Back to what you brought up, they have always tried to be a part of big trades that are being discussed. Sometimes they work, Steve, and sometimes they don't for that team.
Yeah, but anytime you have a chance to get a superstar like Carmelo Anthony or like Amari Stoudemire, I think you go ahead and do it. And so New York is set up now for some success over the coming years, but we'll see how they go forward and what kind of roster they put around their two stars.
Anthony gets called for the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Anthony against Granger. Here's George, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
And guys, I'm impressed with Paul George. He was the 10th pick out of Fresno State last year, and Pacers are happy with him. He's athletic, got an NBA body. I think he's got a lot of potential. He could become a good player.
Well, Clark, here's a player you know a little bit about. Paul George of the Pacers, second-year player, smooth.
I'll tell you what, I bet that's the best assist we're going to see tonight.
Well, he laid it up there, Steve, a pass where only his teammate could get it.
Perfect timing. I mean, that's what you need to make that kind of a connection.
You know, for a guy like him who can light it up like that, that's too easy.
And that one's good. Anthony's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Didn't take long to get that hoop.
Guys, they sure made the D look slow that time. Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Lynn dishes to Fields. Hill pulls it in. Pacers trail by 10. And here comes the break. For the three. Can't get it to go. And the Knicks with the ball. And Fields kicks to Chandler. Picked up by Hibbert. Hibbert with the block. Fast break, here they come. He goes up. Danny Granger, the bucket on the assist by George. 10 points for Danny Granger.
The Pacers handled themselves pretty well against the Eastern Conference last season, 28 and 24. And they seem to be a team on the rise. They've got a lot of young talent. And having made the playoffs last season, they're hoping for more this year.
J.R. Smith's checked in for the Knicks. Shumpert comes in for Landry Fields.
You know, even though he's bite-sized compared to the big men on the floor, he's done some really tall work on the board.
That's good. 14 points for him.
You know, he's not going to make a mistake when he gets in tight. That's a good hoop there.
And for the Pacers last season, finishing 4 games under 500, but they are an ascending ball club as they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, they're building it the right way, too. Larry Bird and David Morway putting some pieces together, a nice core group of young, hard-working, talented players. Now you just, with some salary cap room there, perhaps you can add a piece or two to elevate your talent base and your experience level. Being patient, not taking shortcuts, they're headed in the right direction.
Good place to play.
Yeah.
Here's Smith. Beyond the arc. And that is good. And the Knicks lead by 13.
Boy, I tell you what, pounding the offensive glass pays off for them once again. Persistence pays.
And guys, where would they be without all these second chance points? I mean, they have really dominated the inside on the offensive boards.
Pass to George. Three-pointer. And good on the basket. Book it. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, another uncontested three there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open threes.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open three-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up one, but you start giving three-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
Hill